What job position is 100% overvalued and overpaid? I am here for a potential change of career. So what have we got so far, guys? If you want to rake in an insane amount of money, then retire super early. You could do deep sea welding, especially on oil platforms and whatnot. You can make $80 kmo. But there's a pretty good chance you'll die. Retire super early, pretty good chance you'll die. These seem mutually exclusive. Depends on your definition of retire. Either mutually exclusive, or tautologous. Guess who learned a new word today? About 2/3 of the upper-level admins at the university I work for. I am the payroll person at a state university, and I completely agree with this. The people in upper management aren't even in union-protected jobs who, in theory, should be the first ones gone when we need to settle the budget problems we have. Instead, they were the only ones who got raises during COVID. Don't forget the popular, let's make everyone adjunct professors, take the money we save, and give ourselves raises. Oh, also, let's get rid of staff and replace with terrible management software so we can give ourselves consultancy jobs from the institution to draw additional salary. How do they pay for it? Lower standards and let ever more unqualified students in. Former college employee here. It's worse than that. I mean, even ignoring the fact that they're taking tuition money from students who don't understand how loans work most of the time, many freshmen are lacking basic skills necessary for college success, such as study skills, critical thinking and analysis, and even formal writing skills. Which should be an easy fix, since most higher ed institutions offer tutoring, and professors offer office hours, right? Wrong. Funding is getting cut, which limits programs like tutoring. More and more colleges are opting to hire adjunct professors, who often teach at multiple colleges in order to pay their bills. So they have further limited office hours, since they're literally driving across town to teach somewhere else after they finish teaching. Add on top of that the issue of having employees with limited training, and often little knowledge of transfer pathways and existing articulation agreements with other schools, asked to advise students on which classes to take, and you end up with students who are hemorrhaging loan money because they're failing classes they have to retake, taking classes they don't even need due to poor advising, or because they don't have the support needed in order to be successful. It's maddening, immoral, and awful. I mean, even ignoring the fact that they're taking tuition money from students who don't understand how loans work most of the time. I had a friend that was like 1 to 2 semesters away from graduating, but didn't know that their student loans had a maximum limit to what you could borrow. They weren't able to find anyone that could co-sign another loan with them, so they never finished their degree. My uncle was a commercial airline pilot. He described his job as vastly overpaid in normal circumstances and vastly underpaid in emergency situations. President of FIFA. Today. I feel gay. I feel disabled. I feel like a migrant worker. Lol. And I'm new in town. What's 2 other things about you? If someone else is regional VP, they are either drowning in responsibilities working 70 hours a week, or they have absolutely nothing to do other than collecting a check. I would expand this, personally. Call it the Michael Scott theorem. In any company of sufficient size, there is at least one layer of management that is completely useless, but kept around as a dumping ground for people who earned a promotion but really should have stuck to non-management work, nepotism hires, and people who definitely shouldn't have been hired but are kept around so the person who recommended approved hiring them doesn't get embarrassed. One night I babysat 3 kids for about 2 hours or so. The kids went to bed when I got there, and the parents had left dinner out for me, so all I did was eat their food and watch their TV and pet their dogs. When they got home, the mom paid me $100. I told her that was way too much. She slurred, "Don't worry about it, I'm drunk." And then I noticed her fly was down. So that was the most overpaid job ever, lol. One of the smartest moves you can make as a parent is treat those who take care of your children incredibly well. I always overpay my sitters, they're worth every penny with the peace of mind they give me. Member of the International Olympic Committee, IOC. They've had a lengthy history of excessive demands, $4 million spent on entertainment in Nagano, traffic lanes dedicated to IOC members during the games, etc. They make very few decisions, all of which are politically motivated. They travel extensively and are paid well for it. DailyTrojan.com 20210816 Progress without profit. The IOC benefits itself at the expense of athletes. #Texel though %20 most %20 yuck %20 members %20 are. Meetings %20 and %20 at %20 the %20 Olympics. From the article, although technically a volunteer, the IOC president receives a yearly allowance of $251,000 and lives rent-free in a 5-star hotel and spa in Switzerland. I wouldn't mind that job. How do I apply? Do they teach corruption or a job requirement? You have to bribe your way in, so 10+ years of corruption and bribery is minimum requirement. Am I able to bribe with taxpayers' money? Don't have much of my own. Ferrari strategist. You'd think out of pure dumb luck they'd eventually make a correct call, right? You'd be wrong. It's almost uncanny. There's the standard strategy, and the risky one, and then there's whatever the duck Ferrari are doing. Vivek Garipalli, Clover Health, $389.6 million. George Mekon, Bright Health, $180.8 million. Mario Schlosser, Oscar Health, $60.8 million. John Cow, Alignment Healthcare, $46 million. Vivek Garipalli, Clover Health, $389.6 million. Clove stock, trading $1.20 share, down 88.19% on all-time chart. $400 million to drive a ducking company into the ground? Where do I sign up? Shit, I'll do it for $50 million. See, you even get a big discount. I'll do it for $800 million and run it into the ground twice as fast. Hospital CEOs and actually almost all hospital upper management. There are so many layers of management that many of them barely step foot into a healthcare facility ever, let alone ever speak to a patient, yet all of them make 6, 7, 8-figure salaries plus mega bonuses. My hospital network CEO makes $11 million salary not including bonuses, which bothers me, but bothers me even more are all the board members and shit directly under him making nearly as much. It's hundreds of millions of wasted money paid to the people trying to screw staff out of good pay and screwing patients into paying big bills. My mum, from whom I am estranged, works as the vice president of reward at an international company. She basically arranges contracts so millionaires can get more money and gets paid £189,000 a year for it. Even she thinks it's ridiculous. Gosh, even the title of that job, Vice President of Reward, sounds made up. Like something you'd give a Nepo baby to keep them busy. Mine. Lol, but I'm not gonna tell my employer that. Gary, sorry to contact you over Reddit, but your mailbox is full and you're not responding to emails. We really need that report on you Splatric 12 if we're expected to keep Operation Thunderduck on schedule. Please CC Big Cheese Bright Hat, they've requested to be keep informed. Regards, Analyst 12A2 Edit, disregard, this was supposed to be a PM. Not sure how to delete on mobile over a sat phone. I know this is sarcastic, but the Gary at my company is 100% overpaid and overvalued for the work he does. He doesn't know how to do any work in the field he is the boss of. He just calls another very high-paid employee to do the work he can't do. Whoever was in charge of that duck up in Ohio. I was at a train museum with my kids one time that had this really cool kids area where kids could run model trains around, switch cars in the yard, etc. The whole time we were in there was an older guy running the trains. Nice guy, talked to the kids, but really into toy trains. We left before he did. As we were walking out the door, a museum worker stopped us and informed us the man was the CEO of Norfolk Southern. Just playing with toy trains at a museum. Whoa, ah. What a story. Is the same guy who's in charge now? No. I still don't know what big firm consultants do. I do consulting. It is just either outsourced office work or creating fluffy PowerPoints to give executives an excuse to authorize spending. It's not a bad gig. Sometimes it's to tell executives to do what their internal folks already told them to do, but the execs don't trust their own people. This is really it, ho. My dad was a consultant for years. Said his approach was always the same, go to the different departments. Make it clear he wasn't there to cut jobs, he wanted to listen to their insights and communicate to the execs what they felt in a way the execs would respond to. He did always say that the people working the jobs made the company the money and tended to have good insight into what some of the struggles were inside the company but didn't know how to communicate it in an effective way. Now the leadership actually responding to it and listening was another story. The second he left, they sacked 20% and said the consultant told them to. Oh, true, but he stressed the importance of sharing his reports and findings with the department heads and managers who were engaged. Got him a good bit of business from those people when they moved on to different companies and rose in the ranks.